Welcome back to What's the Juice at the Juicy Tea. As we know, life be lifing. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes. Thank you for all that you do for our space. I am grateful. Let's tap in. Let's see what the divine spirit team, angels, and ancestors need you to know. First thing out here is there's an obligation here, okay? It says you are a nuisance. Hmm. It says you are a nuisance. I feel obligated to associate with you. You're a nuisance. I feel obligated to associate with you. Ooh wee. You know what this energy baby feel like? Listen. You somebody that be standing on business calling out all that bull crap, right? And when you do that, boy, you got folks out here, they like, yeah, we got to stick with this one. We got to see what this was doing, where they at, where they going, what they own, type energy. It literally says, you're a nuisance. I feel obligated to associate with you. And it ain't that you trying to be a nuisance, family. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you like, look, enough is enough when it comes to the corruption, okay? But somebody here feels obligated to stay in your energy because they feel like you are the reason for an upheaval. That's what I'm picking up on. They feel like you the reason for an upheaval. If I rule the world, okay, I free all my sons. Yes. See, there was a misunderstanding when it came to somebody's perspective. Let me see what this says. It says things got lost in the translation and taken out of context. Direct communication will clear the air. Okay, so the energy is here and it is fluid. All right. I feel like there people and places and things and situations and circumstances, they've been running on a cycle for so long that change is like wrecking ship for a lot of people. But you've always been flowing in their energy, so now it's time for them to flow in your energy. And your energy ain't about corruption, and most people's energy was corrupt. So therefore, we've got perspective out here. Okay, it says I value your opinion and would appreciate your unique approach to this situation. I cannot make it up. And that's what it is, okay? You've had a lot of corrupt people. They've had a lot of opinions and things of that nature. But you've always moved from a space of love, and you let everybody show their true hand. Once that hand is shown, family, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. Somebody out here is saying, I'm sorry. Okay, I feel terrible about what I did and owe you an apology. So somebody out here could be feeling that way. Okay, especially if they know you don't be moving from no space of no ill intent. When many people nowadays, that's just a part of their nature because that has been instilled within them. And I'm not saying their parents did it, but I'll damn sure tell you society has contributed to that, right? If you were someone that needed a lot of, I don't know, recognition and wanted everybody, this is this energy. If you were somebody that needed a lot of recognition, and I'm not saying you family, I'm speaking to karmics too, right? They needed to be in the in crowd, right? You've never needed to belong to an in crowd. You are your own crowd, okay? Take that how that resonates. You are your own crowd. You ain't too much trying to you ain't too much trying to run with nobody because you already know people don't move like you, right? With this misunderstanding and leverage coming out, okay? It says, I want you to open up and trust me so I can use your secrets against you, all right? This has been the energy, okay? But since you pulled your power back, and just pulling your power back is saying you're not going to participate in the games. A lot of people try to pay you out to be crazy, but good and damn well ain't nothing crazy about you. It's just the fact that you see through a lot of shit more than most, okay? And that is perturbing to people. Your discernment, your third eye, It's perturbing. It irritates people. Okay, that's why they feel so obligated to stick up under you and around you. Is because you see things from a different perspective. Okay, you see things from a different perspective. All right, let me see if I can adjust this light real quick, family, because it is glaring, but it's a beautiful day. Let me see. I might just, let's see if I can do it. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like it's going to make much of a difference. Let me see if I flip on that. But this is the energy, okay? Your perspective and how you look at things versus how other people look at things is totally different. I'm telling you, totally different. And a lot of people don't really like the way you view things because you see it from a bird's eye view. You see it very clearly. So when you see it clearly and you call it out, folks don't really be liking that. I'm just gonna throw it out there for you, okay? Especially when you're like, well, wait a minute, this ain't about trying to make it make sense. This is about common sense, okay? And common sense always isn't so common, family. I'm just gonna tell you how it is, okay? Common sense isn't always common. So when you got a lot of it, and then you start asking like, well, okay, when you ask too many questions, that be pissing people off. You feel me? When you ask too many questions, that pisses people off because it's like, I want it to make sense, so make it make sense, and that's what this is all about. Okay, you got people out here, they're obligated to stick to you because they feel like you're a nuisance. They feel like you're the reason that this new world order, this new earth is transforming the way it is, but it was destined. And I feel like a lot of people didn't really get to clean up house like they wanted to before all hell broke loose. And they didn't get to clean house the way they wanted to before all hell broke loose. Yep. Collaborate at the bottom of the deck. It says, we are aligned in our purposes. Let's combine forces and help each other succeed. Now, this could be from a positive perspective or a negative perspective, okay? But this was the energy, okay? Your perspective on life is, look, we can all get along, okay? With, duality, okay? Duality and just respect, okay? Opposites don't have to, conform to work together. It's just about a mutual respect, right? A lot of people don't like that though. They don't like mutual respect. You have a lot of energies that are very prideful. I ain't lying, y'all. I didn't know about, I didn't know just how prideful people could be. People are very prideful. Prideful in their cultures, prideful in their beliefs, prideful in just a lot of areas where you're just like, damn, you didn't think pride was all like that, I want to say, okay? Because you've never been that kind of energy. You will love all until, shoot, each person has their own personality, you'll associate or not with them. It just depends, right? Yeah, somebody out here could be asking somebody for a small favor, but it came out in the reverse. But let's read what it is. I'm hoping you won't mind helping me with something minor, but it came out in reverse, okay? So this could be the energy of someone that they want to be in your life in some sort of way, right? Somebody out here also may want to say sorry, but it doesn't feel to me like you're into doing any small favors right now, because I feel like you've been through a lot, and most of it that you've been through are like people trying to make you look like you crazy, and you like, ain't nothing crazy about this shit. Like, I'm living this shit. Life is lifing. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing crazy about nothing you saying, because it's not just happening to you. It's happening to a lot of people, okay? A lot of people have fallen in their careers, and I mean across the board, okay? This isn't just public sector, government sector. This is everywhere, okay? And I feel like, there was a misunderstanding when it came to the leverage in the career you have, whatever that career is. And I feel like the career you have is the career of spilling the beans when I look over. You keeping it real. You keep it 4,000. And you telling the truth is messing up. Is messing up the ethers, okay, with these people. But you are a true speaker. You're a seer and a sayer. You don't know, hey, you're about respect, but you also about calling it like it is. There's never been no future in your front. You have a blunt, honest truth. Where everybody else was sugarcoated. See, most people are used to faking and stuff, right? They smile in your face and then talk about you as soon as you walk out the door. Because they've been conditioned and programmed to do so their whole life. But you just come in as you are. And you show love across the board. But you ain't somebody that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people look at you as if you a Rudy Poot or a soft butt or something like that. And you are neither. You're not, you're neither. Okay? You're just someone that is neutral in all situations until otherwise shown different. And then you pass judgment, or then you call down, I should not say pass, then you call down judgment on circumstances and situations. You feel me? Because, I mean, this is how Spirit is running this down to me. Prime example, right? Man, when I tell you I done been through 4 phones and the last leg standing over here, I just busted it all the way down. I said hell on anything, okay? Closed out Microsoft accounts and everything because, when you catch the eye of these people, the ones who feel you're a nuisance, but they feel like they are obligated to stay associated with you because of some status. Look what Spirit flipped out. Because of some status that you have, a social standing, okay, is very important to these people. Where it may not be so important to you. Yeah, let me tell you, if you're in my energy, you don't be tripping off of social statuses. I was like, shit, hell, you did me a favor, shit. Family, let me tell you, trying to keep up with, I cannot. I ain't gonna front with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm a simple woman. Okay, you may be a simple woman, a simple man, simple divine femme, simple divine masculine, right? You don't need 14,000 different social medias that you gotta tap into every damn day and all that shit. That's just too much time being spent in places you don't need. So a lot of people kind of really do you a favor when they take you down. Okay, don't play with me. Okay, Facebook gone. I said, all right. TikTok gone. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a lot. That's a lot. You know what I mean? But these are people that are interested in social statuses, right? They may be interested in your social status as well. It says social standing is very important to me. Well, not to me, but maybe to them, right? And it says I'm only interested when you're elevating my image. Okay, so these energies right here that I'm picking up on, they want some recognition here. This is what I'm picking up on. There's people out here that wants recognition, possibly through you. So they may even do things to you so that they could get on your platforms and be recognized. Okay, take it how it resonates. Now, when I say get on your platforms and be recognized, they may not just come to you and be a partner on your platform, but your experience that you lived through can be shared on your platforms. That's giving these folks recognition. They want you to know they out there. Don't you ever forget about them, huh? They want you to give them some recognition. So you will live through some life experiences, right? And it's just about how you handle them. Okay? And a lot of people, when you have frustration and the frustration builds up, see, they be waiting to see you break, crack, and crumble. And it be like, shit, look here. I'm living like everybody else out here living, right? That's your sole goal and purpose, is to take care of yourself and live, right? But then you go through these other types of energies where they're like, the way you live, they may look at that like you living on a pedestal or something, but really you're not. I just heard the word average, right? Okay, you may be living an average life. Okay, and when I say you're living an average life, family, I just mean like you're not living above your means. You real simple. Once again, you're simple. And a lot of people ask you like, dang, that's this and that's that. That's cute. Where you get it? And then as soon as I say Temu, they be like, what? I'm like, yeah, simple. You know what I mean? So a lot of people see you as possibly an influencer in society. And those are the folks that they feel obligated to stick to your ass. Because to them, you're a nuisance. Because you're teaching people how to do things better in a different way. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, take it how it resonates. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, see this is past here, okay? So the weight, it says the weight of what happened between us still lingers. I'm not yet over your past or over our past. So you do have past energies here, okay? Now when I said over your past, that's a specific message to someone. There's no mistake. Spirit makes no mistakes. So there's somebody here, they're not quite over your past, okay? Your past could have left some memories here for these energies, okay? Only take it how it resonates. But it's like, I feel like somebody's going over what you may have said. Mm-hmm. They're going over what you said to them, and they're watching it unfold and play out. And it was just like, look, I'm telling you the truth. You know, a lot of people don't believe in the truths that you speak, but it's like, look, it's inevitable, because you can see the patterns and the way the things are playing out. And it's like, damn, this is where common sense ain't so common. Things can only go on for so long, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we have a new generation, right, coming up. And this new generation that's coming up, it's like, you know, where are their moral standards and values? Because I feel like they were built on a lot of misunderstandings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I cannot make it up. Okay, give me one more for perspective, collaborating status, please, Spirit. And thank you for the messages thus far. Yeah, look, I can't make it up. The perspectives and the collaborations and the status, they were built on negative energy. I can't make it up. Yeah, I'm hiding my true intentions, and I don't actually care about your well-being. And that's the facts. And that's just coming out. And at the bottom of the deck, yeah, see, they want bragging rights here. This is what this new society is built on, bragging rights, right? I will always enthusiastically share the amazing things happening in my life, right? But they want bragging rights when it comes to you and possibly, you know, whatever's happening in your life. It's like, I feel the energies of people wanting to be able to say, oh yes, I'm the reason that I brought them down. And you like, shit, no, actually, you did us a favor, because it allowed you to tap into your higher self. Mm-hmm. They did you a favor because it did. It allowed you to tap into your higher self. But they still want some sort of position. And then it says, yeah, I don't want to be who I used to be. Okay, somebody out here feels like you deserve better. This could be somebody from your past, okay, because they've been watching you do the things that you do. But you've always been intuitive. Mm-hmm. You've always been a very intuitive energy. You've always been an energy that kind of knew what was happening, what was going on. You just maybe never spoke on it. And that's what I'm picking up. Mm-hmm. Because that's spooky to people. That'll freak people out. Let me see. What is their spirit? Look, 3 came out. Yeah, see, a lot of people are going over the things you've told them because it's bringing back painful memories because you was trying to guide them the right way. Mm-hmm. This is bringing back a lot of painful memories. You know, I wish I could be a different person. I'm telling you, a lot of people now are feeling like if they were a different person, but it's not about trying to be something you're not. It's about being exactly who you are, standing in your own authenticity, but being genuine in it, not trying to, you know, do all the extra stuff. It ain't about nothing extra. Either you're gonna help or you're not. Either you're gonna be a contributor or not. You know what I'm saying? And in a positive perspective, right? So why is it that you love me type energy? I mean, hell, you know, when you are a light worker, you love all until you don't. And that's just the facts. You know what I'm saying? You love all until you don't. And that's just the way it is. You're always going to have a loving heart. But see, when I say you love all until you don't, you just learn how to love with a long handle spoon. It's like, no, do you ever want to see anybody go through any harm? Fuck no, hell no. Who lives like that, right? But at the same token, you pick up on those energies that can really care less about you. So when you pick up on that kind of energy, you just say, okay, it is what it is. Mutual respect and a mutual understanding. That's where the perspective comes in. But when you pull your love back, it's deep. That's deep. Yeah. Why do I deserve someone like you? You know, these energies are kind of like twisted up in their head. You know, everybody deserves somebody good in their life. That's not coming in with an ulterior motive. That's not coming in because they looking at you for something. You know, just genuine friendship, just genuine respect, just you know what I'm saying? Just being genuine anymore is damn near obsolete. You know, everybody's for this me and my family type energy, and it's like, shit, we all family. maybe not how you want it to go down, but we all are family. That's that perspective. That's how you look at things. Okay, for whoever this message is resonating with, that's how you look at things. We are all one. But, you know, hey, it's about respect, mutual respect. You know, people want to sit up here and put, foul on, bring your character down, drop foulness on you. And you're like, well, hold up, I don't even move and operate like that. You're helping energy, and that's what it is. But not all people are helping like that. Okay? Yeah. It hurts so much. Yeah, like, listen. These are for people that have consciousness. Yes, consciousness, okay? Hurt people. Childhood trauma. All kind of weird stuff comes up, okay, in these energies. But it's like, okay, when are you going to bless yourself and get over it? Shit. When are you going to bless yourself and get over it type energy? It's like, we got to work together. But see, a lot of people ain't used to working with other people. Like, man, let me tell you, the dopest movie, y'all, it's a movie you're going to want to watch twice. Now, y'all know the Transformers, right, man? I kind of fell off probably a few years back, but it pops up on my screen. It's like Transformers, The Rise of the Beast. I said, oh, Lord, right? Man, that movie is dope, okay? But that's what it is. It's like transforming, okay? Transformation, okay? A lot of people don't really know how to transform into their higher selves because they've been operating out of beast mode for so long. And go watch it, y'all. It's a goodie. It's a good one. I'm telling you, it's a good one. Okay, yeah. Somebody feels like they can't make you happy. It's not that they can't make you happy. It's just like, shit, happiness is always within. Okay? But it's like when they add extra to your life, it's like, so what's this about again? Because there's a reason for everything. Everything. Okay, there's no coincidences. Okay? Make sure you enter and understand that, family. There are never any coincidences. Okay? Everything happens for a reason. There's a cause and effect. Okay? So, a lot of people out here, they're upset because of the cause and effect. But then they also don't want to take the responsibility for their actions over the past 30, 40, 50 years. Their beliefs, their practices, their principalities. See, I grew up with this same general principle, right? On GP. It's old school, but everybody be like on GP, on general principle. What were your principal? What was the general principle? Looking at it from a very logical perspective. A lot of people don't like that. Yeah. I need to figure myself out. That's what a lot of people are going to have to do. But they're already kind of, this energy is giving me, they're already kind of like set in their ways. Yeah, I don't understand exactly. At the bottom of the deck, a lot of these people are set in their ways, so they don't really understand. Because they've never been taught properly. And I don't want to put anything down or, but hell, when you're raised a certain way and you're looking at perspectives from who's raising you and you've never seen the perspective from somewhere else and you know where they're coming from, nor did you want to enter or understand it, then there's nothing you can do about it, right? You have to let those energies do and be who they are. Tell me more, Spirit. Yeah. Okay, block and bless. Okay, so there's been boundaries here, and there's a no contact, and there's closure here. Okay, so somebody could be getting the message. Look, you've already done what you needed to do to establish the boundary, and it's like, look, it's either gonna be some mutual respect or it's not, and if it's not a problem. I get it. I ain't got to patronize nothing. And then that's where they got upset, because you wasn't coming in patronizing shit. You was handling everything online. You didn't have to deal with these energies. You didn't have to come in and walk into their establishments and deal with the public. They didn't like that shit. You hear me? They wanted you to be out and about so they can soak up some of that energy, right? But then when you weren't delivering what they was looking for, they was looking for irate, screaming, hollering, tripping out, throwing shit. I'm sure you ain't even in that. When you didn't react the way they wanted you to react at 2707, so 277 may be significant. When you didn't react the way they wanted you to react, man, they just kept pushing it, right? Yeah. You woke up different. It's facts. You woke up different. Okay? And this shifted the energy. I cannot make it up. You were done with tolerating the craziness. And that's a silent strength. Yep. You always come back. And that's another thing. See, they were expecting you to come back to your old self. You ain't got time. You keep it moving because you're grown and you're mature and you have now stepped into your higher self. So therefore you don't entertain what used to get entertained. You no longer entertain what you used to entertain. You used to entertain the chaos, the drama, the shit. Right? You were easily provoked. You're no longer easily provoked. You do believe in perseverance and diligence. They say that third time is a charm, right? So you like, look, here, I need your help. But shit, when you walking in and you seeing people don't want to help you, then you already know the energy. And that had their ass confused as hell. Yeah. Some people feel like they were used and disregarded here. And I feel like that's why these obligations want to stay next to you, because they felt like they were used and disregarded. Message. Let's get two more, please, Spirit. You woke up different, I'm telling you. Yeah. Somebody here they had to return it was like a burned bridge, but I also just heard return the bribe, okay? But there was a burned bridge out here, okay? So these people the bridge been burned shit down, okay? And I feel like because it actually played out, okay? It said burned bridge, all right? A final goodbye, okay? Something that was unreliable or unrepairable here. Ooh, thank you, light. Unrepairable here. Okay, no way back. Yeah, there's no way back. A lot of people are not going to be allowed back into your life at all, because I don't feel like you come into contact with anybody just for any reason. You come into contact with them because it's God. Like, God be sending you in some of the most strangest places and directions. And you be looking at it like, why in the hell I can't find no other such and such around me, but it's just keep guiding me back over here, right? It's doing that, family, because of a situation that needs to be brought to the forefront. And a lot of people feel like you lost them in translation here. For real. It says, yes, ooh, it was the final straw. It had a lot to do with self-respect and a power move. I feel like God brings you into people's lives and circumstances on purpose. So that you could really see. Because see, you may be tied to many, many cultures through your bloodline. That's what Spirit just said. Tell me more. Yeah, look. And because of that, they did not want your life to have a new beginning. I promise you. It says, yeah, you never really loved me type energy, but that was just the opposite. You really did love these people. Okay? You really did love them. But they did not want you to have a new beginning. Spirit is saying, yeah, but you deserve better anyway, so you're going to have that new beginning. Regardless. Okay, because it has a lot to do with your self-worth and you realizing that, and that's where your power comes from. Let me get 3 more spirits, please. 1, 2. Three. Okay, so we got 1, 2, and 3. So right here it says this wasn't love, okay? I promise you, family, it wasn't love, okay? It was love bombing, yeah. And somebody out here feels like you're their drug, okay? Take it how it resonates. It could be a relationship, okay? It could be multiple energies, okay? But this wasn't love. You already knew that, okay? Whatever it was a fantasy that crashed because the truth exposed a lot. Because you were done hoping for change in these energies. Therefore, love bombing, right? The intense start, the sudden withdrawal, and then the confusion. Okay, that's where the energy's at right now. They're not feeling the love anymore. But it's like you were giving them all the love that you could give them. This is what I'm saying. You were giving them all the love that you could give them, right? And then it says, you're my drug. Giving hot, what is this? Craving, highs, and crashes, okay? And then emotional addiction. This is what it is. See, you woke up different. You're not really into trying to, get anybody to see your perspective. They either do or they don't. But you just leave it the way it is. So now you got people that are stalking. It says stalking your social media, okay? Watching, lurking, and secretly obsessed. Because they know that you've always been somebody that has spoken the truth. Now they get to watch and observe. And these are the people that want to be in your life. Even though they feel you a nuisance, they feel like they can learn from you or something like that. And then at the bottom of the major arcana, yeah, you could be the emperor energy. It says established power and authority. Okay, you've provided some sort of stable, consistent foundation to build upon. Okay, family. So that is the message. All right. I hope it definitely provides you with some clarity. Okay. So let's close out. At this time, Divine, I ask that you continue to keep us with love, harmony, tranquility, prosperity, peace, protection, and respect, and good health and good wealth in our lives and all the time. Ashe and thank you. And until next time, stay up, family, because life be lifing. Ashe.